Greetings and welcome to Causeless Joy Tarot. I am the Golden Light Goddess, and I am here today to do a general reading for the sign of Aries for January 2018, as well as we will be pulling additional cards for the remainder of the year. More details about today's reading are available in the description box below. Today I'll be using 3 decks. I'll be using Cyril Marchetti's Gilded Tarot, Karen Sanger's Chakra Insight Oracle cards for the guidance card at the end, as well as I'll be clarifying January's card with Cat Black's Golden Tarot. So for today's reading, today is January 1st, 2018. My guidance was to allow the holiday energy from 2017 to subside a little before releasing before recording and releasing my 2018 videos. So that is what I've done, and here we are on the other side of 2018, and we are all set and ready to go. So I'm asking all viewers this month to hold a question in mind as I shuffle the cards for this month, and that question is, how good can it get? Alright, so as I begin to shuffle the cards for the reading for Aries for this month, I ask that you hold that question in mind as we begin to look at the energies that are available, the potentials that are available for this now very new year. All right, so calling on my guides, helpers, spiritual teachers, all that loves and surrounds the sign of Aries, asking for perfect, crystal clear clarity as we look into the energies coming up for the sign of Aries for January 2018. Giving thanks in advance to all that is loving and divine for perfect clarity as we look at the energies that are available for the sign of Aries for January 2018, as well as the remainder of the year. How good can it get for the sign of Aries? What are the potentials, the highest potentials for the sign of Aries for January 2018, as well as the remainder of the year for 2018. Also, if you know your rising sign or your moon sign, I encourage you to take a look at the videos from those signs as well. Again, these are general readings in nature. If you are interested in a personal reading, instructions on how to schedule that are also included in the description box below. All right, for Aries, January 2018, as well as the remainder of the year, what is the highest potentials for the sign of Aries for 2018? All right, Aries, that feels very good right there for Aries. So let's take a look here at what we have in store. All right, so I'm going to lay out 12 cards, and we will clarify your January card because that is the month that we are currently in, and then we will briefly look at the remainder of your cards. These will be recorded. I will keep a record of all of your cards for 2018, and we will look at that closer as the year progresses. All right, so for Aries, you have the moon coming up in the reverse as your overall energy here. Now, the moon is really upright. It's about being emotional, about having perhaps your emotions overtake you in the sense that the emotions are leading the way instead of logic. Now, in the reverse, it's about clarity, truth, a revelation, a message, perhaps even in your dreams. So, for some of you Aries out there, you may be, big dreamers, in the sense that you can actually remember what you're dreaming about. So this is a card that tells you to pay attention to your dreams, that you coming into January, there's this perfect opportunity for you to experience clarity and truth, and this will dreams are one way that these can be revealed to you. Of course, the revelation of clarity and truth can also happen during your waking hours. So Spirit is also wanting you to stay alert, to stay receptive, to really hone in and hear those messages and that clarity when it comes into you. So that's how you're coming into 2018, which is great. You're positioned to now receive the clarity and truth that you've been hoping for and looking for. All right. So let's take a look now at your primary card for January. This is the card that we will actually be doing additional clarifying cards for. Now you have the Devil coming up in the reverse as your January energy. The Devil upright is all about being having addictions, addictions that potentially have the potential there to impact how you're living your life. Upright, it's, greed, envy, compulsion, especially compulsion here with the Devil card. Now, in the reverse, which is how it's showing up for Aries for January, it's about recovery. It's about getting out of an abusive or problematic situation, right? It's about really stepping into and receiving the abundance and the material aspects of your life. Now, I'm also being drawn back to the moon coming up in the reverse. So you have the moon coming in the reverse, indicating clarity and truth, and then the Devil coming up in the reverse, indicating recovery. So this is a very good combination, I think, for the sign of Aries coming into this new year. You're really in a position in the month of January and to really recover and not necessarily from addictions, although that could potentially play out for an Aries as well. But this feels more like a recovery from stress, from challenges. The clarity and truth that are in store here are more than likely going to really assist you in this recovery effort. Again, it doesn't necessarily mean that you're recovering from some sort of addiction. It could be that you're bouncing back or recovering from situations or stagnant energy that you may have dealt with at the end of 2017 coming into this new year. So that is really turning around for Aries, and that is quite evident here. Now, let's take a brief review of the remaining cards coming in for 2018. As you can see here, in the month of February, you have the Star card. More indication that things are definitely taking an upswing here for the sign of Aries. In March, you have the Two of Swords in the reverse. For April, you have the Lovers coming up in the reverse. For May, you have the Death card. And for June, you have the Six of Cups reversed. And for July, you have the Sun. Right in the middle of the summer, you have the Sun coming up in the reverse. For August, you have the Wheel of Fortune coming up reversed. Quite a bit of reverse energy here, but also quite a few majors. Now, just looking, and I'll finish off your last row here, but in your first two rows, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 out of 8 of your cards are major arcanas. So that means there's going to be a lot of major movement going on for Aries in the first 6 months of the year. Again, as the year progresses, we will delve deeper into each card. You will see these cards come out in your 2018 readings. They will be included actually with your 2018 monthly general readings. So, but a lot of majors here in the first half of the year for Aries, which signifies major changes coming through for Aries, and time will certainly tell what these changes are going to hold for you for the new year. Now let's continue on with the last 4 months there. I just wanted to stop because that was very evident that you have a lot of major arcana energy at the first half of the year. All right, so for September, you have the Five of Swords coming in. For the month of October, another 5, the Five of Wands. Further indications of change, major changes coming in for Aries. For November, you have the High Priestess coming up in the reverse. And lastly, in the month of December, you're closing the year with the Nine of Wands in the reverse there. All right, so again, we will be talking more about those remaining 11 months as those months come in. For now, we're going to focus on this Devil card in the reverse, on clarifying, adding 3 additional cards to this Recovery card. All right, and for that, we're using Cat Black's Golden Tarot. So I'll just be pulling 3 additional cards here to clarify your January card, because that is the energy that we're currently in, and that is the energy that is most prevalent and most active for all of us right now. So 3 additional cards is what I'm asking for the sign of Aries for the month of January 2018. Giving thanks in advance for perfect clarity as we look at the energy for January 2018. The energy for Aries for January 2018. It's the highest potential. How good can it get for Aries here? January 2018. There we go. Haha. Look at what came out again for you. All right. A lot of emotional stuff here, Aries. All right, let's take a look at your 3 clarifying cards here. So again, as I mentioned, this is a card of recovery. This Devil card is going to be your recovery. And because you're pulling the Moon again here, your overall energy was the moon in the reverse. Here you have the moon upright. So let's look closer at these clarifying cards here. All right, so you're starting out with the 5 of coins. Again, fives signify change. Things are changing, but as they begin to change, or as the changes begin to really settle in for you, there may be this sense that you know, this again, if this is when it's in the reverse. It's also indicates some level of recovery here, but because this one is upright, it's more about worrying. Take a look at the people here in this card. This guy just looks completely distraught. You know, there's a lot of worrying going on. Maybe even poverty, financial losses, because this is a coins card. We're talking about loss here, a sense of poverty, right? So coming into January, coming into this month, many of you may be dealing with this 5 of coin energy, where you're not feeling at all like your needs are like you have what it takes to really meet all of your needs, right? A real sense of poverty and loss here coming into January. But as you can see, your next card is the 8 of Wands upright. This 8 of Wands is a very fast moving, action oriented energy. All right, so whatever you're experiencing here with this 5 of coins energy, something is about to shift there. Something that will very quickly move you out of this 5 of coin energy and into a more positive state of mind. It's 8s are about abundance, right? So you're moving from this 5 of coins, where there's this sense of lack, into a very fast moving and abundant action oriented energy here, which is very positive. And it's something that you can really focus your attention on, because as you see, we have the moon card coming up again as well. As I mentioned earlier, this moon is about emotions, feeling emotional about a situation, but the moon can also signify voluntary changes that you voluntarily that you're making in your life. So the way this is lining up for Aries, we have this sense of poverty and lack and being without what you feel you need. And then you have this very fast moving action oriented energy coming in that will ultimately and very quickly, I might say, cause some positive changes in your life. Changes that will affect you emotionally, right? And because there is this big full moon, and because you also drew the moon card out twice, I'm guided here to say that, you know, to be mindful around the full moon, right? Around that time is when you may begin to see some of this very fast moving action oriented energy. And I apologize, I would know exactly when that full moon is going to happen. And what I'll do is I'll post that in the link with this video when it's released. I will also include when that full moon will happen in the month of January, because this is a time that I'm feeling very strongly that you want to be aware of. Perhaps the action-oriented messages, because take a look at those wands there. There's a message attached to one of these wands. There are words on that strip of paper on one of those wands. So there's a message coming in very quickly that's going to move you into this change, this very positive change in your life. And again, I'm very drawn to the fact that it will, you may begin to receive these messages right around the full moon here in the month of January. All right. So that's what I'm really picking up for Aries. Again, you know, there's this energy here where you're coming into January with this energy. So this is residual energy from 2017. This either was the end of the year, perhaps with the holidays. You know, many of us have the tendency to overspend at the holidays, and possibly get ourselves into some financial situations, or we may begin to feel like, you know, we don't have as much as we normally would like to have in order to feel comfortable. So this residual energy here from 2017 will very quickly be moving out and allowing you to position you to for some changes. And again, for some of you, those changes will happen around the full moon. This card could indicate those voluntary changes, emotions, but it could also be an indication that something's coming around the full moon in that month. And again, that information will be included in the description box below. All right, Aries. So there you have it for your January reading and your clarifying cards for January. Now let's take a look at your guidance card for right now. Before we do that, I want to point out the candle that I'm burning for these readings is my Love Never Dies. It's a beautiful lavender candle that's offered out on my website, theroyalcandle.com. You can find other beautiful intention candles out there if you're so inclined to do so. Again, that website is theroyalcandle.com. All right, so let's go ahead and close out your reading for the month of January with one additional guidance card for the sign of Aries. What is the highest potential for the sign of Aries? How good can it get for the sign of Aries for January 2018? You saw that very quick moving energy coming in. What additional guidance do we have for the sign of Aries? All right. So you saw that card kind of turn around in the deck. When that happens, that's a clear sign for me. That card is shifting out of the regular flow of cards and wanting to be seen. All right, so what do we have here? We have, first of all, the red jumps out to me right away. Aries, you are a fire sign, and this is all about vitality, strength, your body image, balance, and physical health. Taking care of your physical health is going to be, Spirit is wanting you to know that this is going to be a critical part for you in this new year, that it's going to be imperative that you take care of your body, of the physical elements of your body. Now, as I mentioned here earlier, we have this very fast moving, action oriented energy coming in that's going to move you into a new place. Well, if you're not physically balanced or physically strong enough to really step into your blessings and allow those to manifest in your life, then you're not going to have the same experience as someone who is. So very important, Spirit is wanting you to be aware. Again, we have the 5 number coming up as well. Change, you have the 5 of coins here, and again you're pulling a 5 for your guidance card. So change is imminent for Aries. It really is. I'm really picking that up, that change is in the air for Aries. But in the course of that, and in the midst of these things changing for you, in the midst of things getting better, in the midst of your financial situation turning around and you being in a much better position to really thrive in this new year, it's going to be very important that you're mindful of your health, that you're eating the right foods, that you're getting a little exercise, you're visiting your doctor regularly, and you're doing things to really keep that body, mind, and spirit in balance. That's going to be important for Aries in 2018 is what I'm really picking up here for you. All right, so that does conclude your reading for the month of January, and it concludes your card reveal for 2018. I do wish you a very healthy, a very prosperous and blessed 2018 as we progress through this new year. And I look forward to seeing you back here next month. Namaste.